Welcome everyone to another video, and today we are looking at another episode of True Human Scenario. Now this episode will come, this episode 8 will come after my what if scenario of what if France tried to unite Spain and Iberia, or if somebody kind of fell apart. But yeah, let's go quickly to what I have fixed. I have fixed these two because these two are Neanderthal, not not sapiens. So yeah. Funny thing is, more sapiens are more north than even some Neanderthals. And even in some parts they are more north, like in this part where sapiens are north and south and west, while Neanderthals are here, 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 and here. Very interesting dynamic. I also have some gum in my mouth, so. But can you taste it? Mint tastes good. But yeah, today we're looking at more of Africa and more of North Africa. Specifically, I mean West and North Africa, but yeah. And as you might have seen, this a weird color here. I'm not gonna tell you which it is, but if you know this is the ethnicity map, I'm not gonna tell you what that is. But first, we're going to look at some other things that are going to happen. Right, the discovery of Sardinia. Corsica won't be yet known, but as we see, Corsica will be found on there you go. We see that Sardinia will be discovered on the 18th of May on the which year? I forgot which year it is. On the 661st year. Well, BH 661st BH. Sardinia and its southern parts will be discovered in full, as Carthaginian and more Sicilian peoples start to move over here. Now, more people starting to move over here isn't a bad thing, but people knowing about new islands is another whole thing in itself. And quickly we also see that that Neanderthal peoples will link up their knowledge areas with their known areas with the sapiens known areas. I'm gonna hate myself for making this. We also see quick exploration is done over here in and around the Balkan areas, as well as some over here in the Alps, where it's kind of harder to do so, although it's still being done due to more people just wanting to know and live somewhere else. And yeah, but still there's a lot of hesitation of what to do around here. And yeah, we see that Corsica won't be discovered yet, even though it's kind of the island in the middle of everything. And we also see that more of the North Sea is discovered, as well as some of Norway. Quickly, we also see something weird happening when some Netherlandic, some Belgian peoples go over here and like, yo, we're gonna just stay over here. And after a few months, they disappear and nobody knows what happened to them. They are the first English people, but I won't put them on the map because they are so little in number. It's unneeded. And we also see some Swedish areas being discovered, as well as some Norwegian and some Finnish lands being discovered. The Sami peoples up here will start to also become more and more northerner. As you can see, they go all the way over here just because they can and they will. And this quickly causes Finland and some of the more Swedish parts of Finland to go over here and start to find out about this area. Now quickly, as we see, a lot of these areas are discovered quite hastily, and not everything is known about these areas, but what is known is that it's just tundra everywhere. It's just tundra. And quickly, the same news of explorations done in Northern Scandinavia will reach from the Siberian areas. As we quickly see, many Nenets and Enets people will start to migrate to these areas. Some find out about some weird island areas, while others find out about some peninsulas, like this peninsula that is discovered, and some others discover just water everywhere, as well as ice. A lot of ice and snow. There's like hella snow everywhere. But something very weird happens at some point. People in Africa become very knowledgeable of the Neanderthals' existence. How? The Neanderthals have also become travelers. Not only have they traveled throughout their own lands to seek enlightenment of their situations and how to better themselves, they have gone into Sapien land to find out what the Sapiens are doing. Mostly they thought that the Sapiens were only in other areas, not in their own little continent, but knowing that the Sapiens are larger in number and larger in ethnicities kinda doesn't help the fact. Quickly we see that, oh, what the hell happened here? This doesn't exist. That's a bad thing. No, that you are bad. But quickly we see some Bulgarian peoples from the Neanderthal side, because there's some Bulgarians over here and they're kinda integrated. And quickly we see Bulgarians start to migrate into these areas, becoming the first travelers of the Neanderthals to reach Mesopotamia and Arabia. Quickly they will also reach Egypt and some other areas over here, but they will be astonished by the new nations that are made. And quickly we see very many people from Neanderthal areas starting to like this idea more of a unified people, and quickly we see village states starting to exist. Now these village states are very different from each other, even though some of them may look similar in color. That's just because I'm just cycling through cars, don't mind me. But some of these will be actually unions of villages, and most of these people will not even know how to manage their own nation. Some Neanderthals will go over to Sapien lands to find out about what's going on everywhere, only to be rebutted and humiliated in public for what they look like. Some of them are actually accepted, but that's the minority, and most of the peoples that do go there don't know what to do with their own state, so they have to find out what to do. Quickly, Neanderthal people start to find out that an existing state needs to be a large nation to become more powerful. Like this one that immediately went south and took a lot of lands. Even though they are of the same race, it just cleansed the people that were in the south and decided to do other things. These four villages decided to become one nation under the leader of Shimostav. Shimostav is very old. He's one of the oldest Neanderthals in these four villages, and he's maybe the third oldest. But he will die as he started to make it over here and convince these people to join. Quickly we see that a lot of these Neanderthals will start to go after what he dreamed of, a larger Bulgarian peoples who are one unified state, unified under one state, and we quickly see that they will begin to invade into non-areas that aren't of their own origin, and quickly we see that they will subjugate 2 of these villages under their own name, and quickly they make the capital be this village. Even though it's a capital, they are the first to introduce capitals. Even though these guys kind of already have capitals, they don't just kind of say anything about it. And we quickly see that over here 2 more village states come into existence, with another large state being Thessaloniki. Yippee! Thessaloniki is now a nation. Not a nation, it's a very different type of nation. It's a state. My God, Thessaloniki, you had the most build up of my whole entire series, but you still couldn't become a nation, and that's because the only nation is this guy. Yeah, this guy. Even though I said this guy might be a state or is a state, I was kind of bluffing. So yeah, kind of was, kind of wasn't. But we do see Thessaloniki becoming quite a strong nation right off the bat, as it quickly subjugates 2 villages on its outskirts, and quickly also expands into unknown territories for its people. It decides that it will go south towards this village. Unable to take it, they will actually go to this little village over here and offer them large amounts of benefits in return for them joining their state. Quickly we also see subjugations over here of these 2 villages, and this village ultimately seeing the success of these peoples as one big nation, well, not nation but one big state, and one big entity, reaches them with one very big new piece of news, that their brothers in the east have been subjugated by the same nation, offering them to join their nation. And quickly we see that this will be done. Although if we go into ethnicities, you can see that these guys have gone into non-Greek and Greek areas, as well as they have invaded people. They have invaded people that are not them. And as you can see, this is the large amount of people that don't want to be a part of them. And due to this being the very fringes of the state over here, needing to become a kingdom first to actually gain a lot of land, the people over here start to actually want independence, seeking for their own little nation states. But as they do this, they forget who they're dealing with, and once they start to cut off this large part of Thessaloniki, Thessaloniki stops not noticing. Quickly we see large armies of around 2,000 people marching back into these areas, subjugating them under their rule, and quickly they start to massacre the people of the Balkans. Or should I call them Cossacks? No, I'm just gonna call them Balkan. And quickly, as we can see, the Cossacks will... we quickly see that these people will be forced to give up, and in a kind of a large type of peace treaty that actually was a treaty of peace, as they call it, the first of its kind, because in these times states are like, okay, if I take your land, you take my land, that's it. And that's just negotiations, that's what they call them. But peace treaties of peace, are like entirely foreign to them. They don't know what those are. And quickly we see that the Cossacks came around with some people. And yeah. What eventually happened was that these people kind of got kicked out of their own lands. And if we look, this is what's happening. Thessalonian people start to migrate into these areas, assimilating the local people on their very many things. But quickly, due to this, we see that these guys will just become another minority of the state of Thessaloniki, and quickly we see also them becoming quite Macedonian. But their capital is here, this town. Yes. But as you can see, their lands have become quite small. These guys, and it quickly becomes apparent that these guys won't be able to keep on to their people, homelands for long, as we quickly see a lot of them being lost. Even some of these areas that weren't even a part of the Thessalonican people just assimilated into the people. And quickly we see that this is the wider Thessalonican people over here. And the Thessalonians go over here. Now you can see there are some minority parts, but they don't want to stamp them out. That's already too much. And quickly we also see them doing a bit of conquering. They go down south, conquering 2 villages under their belts, and quickly they decide that, you know what, if these villagers decide to join us, we'll let them join. If they don't, we'll just make them a state. And one does decide to join, that's this one over here, and the other one decides to not join because it kinda doesn't like them, and quickly it becomes very prominent and becomes a quick rising state. Although it's becoming a rising state, it is too late in the party, as we can see. Some of these village states have started to become quite big already, and this is becoming quite the part of the video that I shouldn't be talking about just yet. But as we can see, these two over here start to clash, and the first thing that happens from this clash is an invasion from the state over here. This state decides that it really wants to take these areas because it just sees them as its own, but it's quickly pushed back in the battle for this village, and quickly we see it invading force of around 500 over here and another 1,000 over here, being absolutely destroyed. And as you can see, these blue guys this blue team starts to beat the hell out of this village state, to the point that they just took some of these parts over and gave the other parts just over. They didn't want the other parts, they just wanted this. But quickly they find that, maybe we should do something about this state. It kind of just took these areas that we wanted, and they did. They invaded into these areas with an army of around 30,000, not 30,000, 3,000, and this is the largest army this world has ever seen. And that's just what they managed to garner from their already existing areas that weren't just taken, aka these areas. And everyone over here is like, yo, how about we just join? And these three start to talk about joining this guy. Now 2 of them join, which are these 2, while the other one decides to, quote unquote, stay as independent as possible, but also join them, making them the first puppet or the first vassal state of the world. They will quickly become the catalyst for many invasions into these areas, seeing that these 2 being kind of the same people just get invaded. As quickly we see the control of these 2 villages under this village kind of falls apart, and this surrenders and is integrated. And quickly we also see that this village is also subjugated, and this guy eventually just is gifted some areas over here because these guys just kind of gave up when this area was kind of taken. So But quickly after that we see a very unexpected thing, that being 5 different villages deciding to join under one banner, that being the banner of Alsanholm. Alsanholm is a very old person, but he is one of the least oldest people among all of these elders. He is the newest elder, and he decides that, you know what, I'm gonna help these guys also consolidate into one big entity. Quickly we see that these two become quite big friends, as these two kind of are very friendly to each other, to the point that this guy even gave them land to connect up to this guy. Now, this guy being one of the biggest nations of the time, biggest nations of the time, but biggest nation in Bulgaria, gets news of this large nation over here that's slowly becoming a nation. Actually, it's still a state. But going back to over here, where we have a lot of African things happening, I'm just gonna leave the political layer alone, because that was the events for like most of the video. What happened, all of this that happened over here, and over here. That's what happened through all this time, through like another 28 years. Not 28, it's 44. Yeah, actually not 44. It's like 40 years. So over 40 years we see that new lands get discovered by many people, and quickly we see that a lot of these areas that are over here, being of course part of, well, what would be called the Golden Coast and Nigeria, are starting to be found. Now, as you can see, this I don't know how close this is. That's like over here, and if we go back, then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not gonna say the last one, but that's approximately 8 of these, and this is already getting closer over here, and that's just the Nigerians going up. And as we can see, not this, you're still not that. We quickly see that parts of the Nigerian lands are quickly discovered, and areas that are part of the Congo, which are these Congan peoples, just start to like harass these peoples. But I'm just telling you this because they will slowly become irrelevant until I think like my planned episode. I don't know what episode. But quickly we also see that Nigerian peoples will meet up with a weird group of people who are over here, and we see that these are the Guinean people. Guinean. And quickly, due to these guys finding out about each other, the Guineans are going to be initially hostile. They don't very much like the Nigerians, but they will eventually be friendly. Also, these islands are discovered, but nobody just inhabits them. They don't want to inhabit that. Like, do you see how far this is from the coast? If you went like even close to this, the only person who kind of managed to find this island was stranded, tried to come back, was stranded, landed here, and just went back and forth until he was like, yo, let's try again. And this time the weather was better and the waters were calmer. So yeah. But quickly we see that that water exploration becomes quite important for these people, as finding more areas to hunt fish in. That's what they call it, fishing. They call it hunting fish. Not my problem. They quickly decide that due to it being kind of essential for life, they kind of want to do it a lot. And these people who are very seafaring, all their people on the coast basically, and the few who are inland. But these guys find out about these islands through sheer luck of technology, as they managed to make one of the best boats imaginable. And this is one of the greatest boats in like this world currently. And even the Arabs who kind of come through over here are like, yo, this boat is sick, can we have it? Can we have it? And they look like, do you know when a kid is like, Dad, can we have this please? And does that like puppy eye thing or begging eyes? Yeah, that's what the Arabians are doing for these guys' boats. And also the Arabians also went up, got us challenged to go as far as into the ocean as possible to find out about more areas. All they found out was more coast, but they at least got a bit more in these areas where it's a lot better, and they found out about more Indian lands. So yeah, we might be getting some Arabian Indian people. Mixed. I don't know. But quickly, we see that after all of this, a large amount of Arabians will start to go over here because they kind of don't care about the waters anymore. They just want to make villages where they can just live. And why don't they care about water? Because they found out that water is underground and it's passed down through generations, and eventually it gets to enough of the general population that people are like, yo, let's just go over here. And this entire unknown area is reduced to these areas because nobody just decides on what to do with these areas. But a quick look into what they actually know about these areas shows you a lot of things that happen. And as you can see, there are Arabians who got lost over here and just decided to like live here. And quickly, the Arabian peoples will start to inhabit this. Even though they don't know everything about this, they just send out family members to inhabit these areas just because they want this. But the more unknown areas are like avoided on purpose because they don't really want to go over here. The more unknown it is, the less people want to go over here. Yeah. But quickly, after a long time of going over here, we see a large amount of people just getting very bored of not doing anything, and quickly they're like, yo, let's just do what we want, and they get lost very easily. They get lost very easily in that area, and quickly we even see some more inhabitation of these areas, even though it's kind of subtle about these guys are kind of subtle about who is who, in the sense that what village is who, what village, and what do they do. They are kind of subtle about that, because yeah, they are pseudo villages over here. Pseudo meaning pre-village villages. Yeah, they even though they have villages. But explorations over here near Guinea, the Guinean people have caused the Guineans to actually go over here and start inhabiting that area. While the Nigerians have also gone over here into these areas, they have done less of that, and they have decided to actually just go over in every direction as possible, actually, because they are kind of just saying, yo, what if we just went everywhere at the same time? Good work. And a lot of them actually do so, and they find out about more, and they do find out about a very small lake over here, but they don't really care about that. So yeah, less and less. I'm not gonna say it, even though intrusive thoughts want me to say it. Also, we have the Western Africans becoming a people. Yeah, we have Western Africans now. And these people actually start to make large amounts of settlements, in terms that they just settle as many areas as possible. Also, Guineans people just start to inhabit these areas. Quickly they diverge off into kind of this weirder island people, and that's kind of what happens around here. If you get my drift. But as we can see, the Nigerian peoples have become quite large as these guys, who are currently on a rampage of yeah, they do this to this guy. These people have done nothing, yet they do what they want to them. That's what they do. Yeah, not very good. Same over here though, but this time it's just to connect up with their people and make it easier for them to live. And these two also got in an altercation, and I'm just doing all of this moving of ethnic areas because this would look a lot better. Yeah. Also, these guys shrink because of plagues, a lot of plagues, a ton of them. And like, quickly just doing the last thing over here because I don't want to stay in one place for a lot, like one video at a time. We see that over in North Africa, I'm gonna have to turn off something right now. That's gonna be years, because we quickly see that a large amount of people will start migrations into these areas. Now, some of these peoples do not even know each other. They don't even know who they are. They just are like strangers who agreed on going over here. That's what I'm gonna say. Also, the Numidians, using their cavalry and camels that they acquired. Couldn't acquire because they are pirates. They just go in the Carthaginian lands, find a village getting food from another village and just raid it, and then go back to their home, just giving it over to the people. But yeah, that's what they do in general. But we see that a lot of these peoples will go this way, but stop short of these people. Even though these two are kinda far from each other, even though if you look in retrospect they're quite close. To get from information from here all the way over here to this point takes around 20 years. Why? Rainforest, deadly desert, unknown shits that are going over here. Water transport, because people like to go around the damn continent, not through it, because going through it is longer than going around it. And some of these people are just gonna get lost, and they use the boats they have to kind of find out about some water areas, and that's all. And then a lot of them just go and find out about more areas, because we just need more areas to be discovered. Yippee! But we quickly also see some Scandinavian areas being more explored. The Scandinavians are being quite very exploration-liking people. And just to put in perspective of what's going on in the world, we're gonna have just some the Persians just come over here. They like these areas. They just like them. They are just like home. Deserty as hell. But let's quickly see where these people start to take their own lands. I don't know, the people will settle somewhere, I don't know. But we quickly see that these southern Persians will start to move over into these areas, quickly becoming one large chunky boy. And we quickly see some northern Persian movements over here. Even though they are the same people, technically, they have different cultures in some way. They don't have the same way of religion. Oh hell, I forgot. You know what? Just let it be. I'm just gonna let them just have it. This is gonna happen around it. Yeah, don't criticize me, please. I didn't. I just found out about this. I don't wanna be criticized, please. Thank you very much. And we also see some Numidian and Carthaginian explorations going quite far over here, and some of these Carthaginian lands are even integrated into the village structures, which they the village structure for the Carthaginians is like the Mesopotamians, just kind of modified in the sense that if you have a town and you call them Osvanas, that's kind of what the Mesopotamians called their people. Osvana means it's a slang term for the Carthaginians, and the Carthaginians use the slang term for the Numidians. So if you say that to someone, you're just calling them Numidian, and nobody likes them Numidians, even though we kind of have this Numidian people kind of just going, oh, the way over here, finding out about, oh, these areas are good, oh, cool, yippee, yay. And quickly we see that after all of this, people won't go into the Sahara anymore. They will just go around it as much as possible, because people who already live in the Sahara are like, bruh, this area is like hell on earth, literally hell. We won't go over here anymore. And as you can see, some of these people just do inhabit these areas, but that's at their own volition and at their own cost. Also, we have some truly Western African peoples. I don't know what to call them. I don't want to call them anything because maybe I'll get it wrong. People will get mad at me, and I don't want that. But yeah, some of these are Moroccan and West Saharan people, and yeah, I'm just gonna call them Moroccans. I could call these guys Moroccans, but they have some Algerian lands, so I should call them no one or something. I don't know. But we also have some Castilian and Valencian people's movement as not people's movement. What? That sounds like people are trying to create a communist movement. That's too early in the video, and too early in the series for communists. Yes, there will be communist nations, but not right now. Not right now. Quickly, we see some these Iberian lands being discovered, and a weird new northern Iberian peoples sets in, but not before being kinda having their lands kinda yeah. It's a long story about what kind of peoples they are. These guys are actually kind of mixed. Even though they have more sapiens on their borders, they are the more Neanderthal. I'm gonna need to make more borders. Oh my god. But for these Carthaginian peoples, they actually are the minority on the Sardinian island. Same with Italians, even though you'd expect them to be more than Italians are just in two pockets. Yeah, that's where they are. The Sardinians are who are the people who actually live in all these areas. Even though there's also some French people who kind of moved into those areas, they are still very different. But we'll see that the Sardinian peoples, being surrounded by, of course, very good sapien travelers, are sapien. But for everyone else. We also have yeah. So I don't know what to say over here. Honestly, I don't have anything to say. Other than it looks like. Why does it look weird, like a weird Italy, like a smaller, weirder Italy? Holy hell! I shouldn't make this Italian. What would it look like if I made it Italian? I don't know. About to find out, but yeah. Oh my god, it looks so weird. This is not even the Adriatic. I know this is the Aegean Sea, but I think this is the Adriatic Sea. Yeah, the Adrian Sea. This is no longer the Adrian Sea, it's the Italian Sea. Pasta michetta. But we will also see German people just moving in here just because it's funny. Yeah. Also, Italians and the French meet. And we also see a lot of Swiss people just going into that area. I don't have anything to say. That's the problem here. I don't know what to say. Like, it's a bit weird of an atmosphere currently that I'm feeling. But hey, what happens if you have a weird atmosphere with people? But we quickly see that after a long time of just not doing anything, this is what the Finnish people do. The Finns, the Finskalis, Finno-ugric people do. We also see the Finnish people just giving way to these guys. Or like, yay, we can finally go up more north. Only to be cut off by more western Sami peoples. Now I like this color very much. Should I invert colors? Should I invert colors, because this guy looks a bit ugly. Change the color maybe. Oh yes. Oh yes, this looks. Oh, I'm getting cramps. Don't even say anything. But I could make this a bit of a mix. Oh. Well, who would have guessed that I found a good color to use? It's magenta, but still, I don't know if it's magenta or not. But as we can see, the Utic peoples have also moved up, and they have become the official Vikings. Well, pre-Vikings. They're kind of they're not doing much. They're just chilling currently. They have like the Viking longhouses because they just want to flex. Yeah, I'm just kidding. They actually kind of develop the Viking houses after a few of them are like, yo, maybe we should do something else. And we also see that after some time, these guys will break away from the Utic peoples, who will be very like weirder in like talking way. But we also see that the Utics actually die out. That the language so quick history thing. This happens around the 28th year. The expansion over here happened around the 28th year. Around the 29th, the peoples over here started to die out because of famine and not good food conditions. The fish around here started to not avoid the fishermen's area, so they had to go even into more rockier areas. Even this island over here had problems just living, and eventually the Denmarkish people just decided to say, you know what, we're just gonna do some stuff, and that was invade these people, and yeah, a lot of things happened. Also, for these two peoples, they're getting along quite nicely. They don't hate each other. They are very friendly to each other. In fact, they like each other so much they want to become nations and become allies. That's just not. Well, that's something that will happen in the future, but we'll see what will come about it. We also see the Nenets and Enets becoming some of the largest peoples of this area, even though we also have new Finno-ugric peoples, as we have a very large barrier being erected over here, and that's a natural barrier, being that yes, you can go over the ice to inhabit the island. That's the biggest over here, but it's not recommended because yeah, some people already made it here, and they immediately, I mean, like they almost fully died out, but only a part of them still lived. So yeah, let's go. So yeah, these people kind of just started to die out because Ice, 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 ice. They only developed ice fishing in these areas, and these people who developed ice fishing survived longer than the others. So kind of became a trait that you had to be big, strong, and capable of doing much more than just living. You had to work for your livelihood, and you would also be kicked out of your family for any reason that involved stealing food, because that's how scarce food was at the time that people kind of just existed over there. And we also see that I think that's it for this video. I don't know how long the video here is. Jeez! Yeah, I'm gonna end this here. If you like the video, please pick up the stone that is the rock that is the like button, throw it against the tree that is the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching and supporting this video. Have a great day.